What's up, everybody? Welcome again to another episode of the Big Bro Podcast, man. Thank you for joining me. Here I am in the family room, man. I'm really excited about this one, man. I know I've been going for a while. I know I told y'all last time, man. I hit 45. My birthday passed. Second half of the year, the J. Floyd, rebuilt year. Second half of the year, tackling my goals, man. So I got renewed energy on this one, man. I'm feeling great. I hope y'all are feeling great, man. I made a little change in the stock market, man. I'm excited, learning new things. One of the things I always talk about, man, when I was younger, not only did my big brother introduce me to hip hop, he put me on to hip hop. He brought me into that world. Not only did he do that, but he also would take the time to break down the lyrics, to make them make sense, to show me everything that was contained inside. And one of the things I think is kind of missing today is for people to get that meat that's all up in them lyrics, man. It's not always just the beat. It's not always just the cuss words. You know what I mean? Sometimes some lyricists will build it in there. And one of the things I found that, man, if depending on how you look at it, depending on how your mind wraps around it, you can find it in most lyrics, right? One of the things I found in me, sometimes I just be kicking it with my boys and I just say some line from a song. But the way that I say it is the way that it sits in my heart, right? The way that it hit me. So the way that it might be rolling around in my spirit might be a little different than the song actually plays and how the other person, the people around me are used to hearing it, right? So sometimes I might just like spit some lyrics. I might be singing some Tupac or something and just spit something that's really broken down into the sections and the meaning. Because sometimes people say stuff that's really profound, and if over the beat and to the tempo, you can miss it. But if you break it down and spit it like I'm telling it to you, then you catch it. So I've had plenty of people be like, man, what song is that? And I'll be like, what you talking about? That's the classic joint that everybody knows. But the way that I said it was different. The intent in which I said it was different. The way it was broken down felt different, so it hit them differently, right? Yo, Black History Month is not over, man. Go check out Urban Intellectuals, man. They sell these bad boys right here. These Black History flashcards. Yeah. Bam. Bam. They still got these bad boys, man. Go check them out. Hit them up now. Black History Month's not over. And they got some really, really good sales, man. Listen. Look, I'm gonna break these out because I can show you better than I can tell you, man. Me and my kids, we do this. We go through this. We play this like a game, man. Crack open this one. This one is volume 1, right? So we're talking about general Black history flashcards. You can teach your kids. There's my man, the Emperor Haile Selassie. Haile Selassie, there he is right there. Boom. You get to know all about what his life was all about. Your kids can find out everything about him right there, right? One of the games that we play, I tend to play with my daughter, my 7-year-old daughter. I'll just give her a stack of them and we just flip them over. Boom, boom. Who is that person? What is it saying about him? You would be amazed at how much, look at that Fannie Lou Hamer. Come on, man. You talking about legend in the game. This one is in volume 1, but we have also some great women in volume 2, which is really all about women in Black history, right? It's some serious, deep stuff. Not only did my kid learn stuff, my daughter learned things, my wife learned things, and I learned things because they got some really deep knowledge in here, some stuff that I didn't even know. And I tend to pride myself on knowing a lot of Black history. But boom. First, who is MC Breed? Breed is the man, right? Breed, Flint, Michigan. Eric Tyrone Breed. That's key. I want y'all to remember that his name actually was Breed, right? Not only was his rap name basically, not only was his rap name basically his real name, my man's from Flint. You're not gonna hear too many rappers from Flint, right? Flint, with me growing up in Cleveland, I don't know where y'all are at when y'all viewing this, but in Cleveland is a Midwest town. It's economically depressed. A lot of similarities to Flint. So the year was 1991 when this song dropped. 1991. Let's back this up. Boom. 1991. Ain't No Future in Your Frontin' by MC Breed. Now I want you to make note of something. It says by MC Breed and the DFC, right? So my man didn't just put out a song to put himself on, he put his whole crew on. The DFC, now back in those days in 1991, any MC that came out had a crew. But not everybody who was solo just had their crew with them on their first single, right? As soon as they came out, he came out with the DFC. Now the DFC stands for the Funk Clan, right? Some cats from Flint with him who got signed and was able to put out an album. Obviously, they were not lyricists in the way that Breed was, but he was putting his family on, right? He's put his family on. So let's go through this, man. Let's go through this a little bit. My man Breed, man. My man Breed. I think if anybody could think back to 1991, where you were at when you first heard that beat kick in, and you got that to the beat, y'all. Man, with that funky worm sample, man. Come on. Let's see, did they say anything about the samples, man? The lead single, my man was signed to Ichiban Records. He's on a little record label, man. Let's see, boom, 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 boom. It really don't say anything about the samples and everything, and we have to pull that from another site. But listen, that funky worm, man, when that kicks in, woo, yikes. And then, come on, man. If you from the Midwest, if you from Detroit, if you from Cleveland, if you from Dayton, if you from Akron, if you from man, anywhere in that area of the country, oh, that beat was hitting. I did the beat, y'all. This sound hard. I'm not even gonna start reciting the lyrics yet because I want to really concentrate on these lyrics, man. I want to really focus in real quick on what's going on with these lyrics, all right? If y'all can rock with me, man. Let's go through this. I want it to be like, what's them dudes, Twins the New Trend? You know, when they'll sit down and they'll listen to some classic and they're blown away by, you know, their generation being exposed. I want this to be where we, the people from that generation, can revisit this and see it in a different way. And like I said, this is the most honest rap song of all time to me, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why. So let's roll through it. This sound hard. Some funky people don't dance to. Give the record a second and a chance to. So he already knows this beat, this record, the music that y'all are hearing is what's gonna get me into y'all ears. This is what's gonna make y'all listen to a young dude from Flint, Michigan, named Eric Breed, right? Y'all got no other reason to listen to me. I know this beat is gonna get you, right? And so then he's basically just riffing on who he is and some things that are important to him, right? So my man says, why they slipping back? My feet is planted in the pavement. So he's on solid ground. On solid ground, right? He didn't, you would notice that a lot about Breed. He not coming out like, y'all whack, I'm dope. It's more like, y'all slipping and I'm solid. Let me show you the character. Let me show you who I am, right? Like I said, crumble I can never do. So now I'm looking dead at you. What are you gonna do? You listening to the knowledge of a scholar. And you say hi, Breed. Tell them holla holla. Now, these are lyrics that are coming off of Google. So real quick, they may not be 100% correct. Sometimes transcribers might, mess up a little bit of the slang. So if I catch some of that, I'm gonna try to fix it. I'm gonna try to correct it right here, right? But my man said, you tell you how, I'm gonna tell him holla holla. So again, when as a kid, and it was 1991, so I was 15 years old. In Cleveland, Ohio, holla holla That's the way we talk. We don't listen to Run DMC and hear that. We don't listen to LL Cool J and hear that. We don't listen to Ice-T and Ice Cube and Eazy-E and Tone Loc and hear that. The East and the West was not giving us, right? So Breed was coming in, and I don't know if everybody, all my Cleveland cats, all of my folks who remember when this joint dropped, it hit you in the heart, right? So he starts getting into his slang and tell him holla holla, right? So then he does something that you will see as a running theme. He starts talking about his name. I'm the E-double, and I proclaim my name. Then he starts spitting what we call game. But game in Breed's raps is real game. Like he really giving you real life knowledge, real street smarts, right? So we like, good game peeps all game. I'm like a rhino rolling through the roughest pack. They figure I'm a trigger happy, so they step back. And then he's got a gunshot in there, boom. One of the first times you'll hear a gunshot sound. The microphone is who lasts the longest and who's the strongest. And then the game is plain to see. You listen to the sounds of Breed and the DFC. See, here we go again. They said the noose is the strongest. That's whack. He ain't say that. He said who's the strong. Wait a minute, man. I don't even like that. We about to go to Genius, man. Let's go to genius.com. Can I spell it right? Let's go to genius.com. Let's get it. Let's pull it up there, man. Which should be a little bit more trustworthy in flipping and transcribing some lyrics. So let's do that, man. All right. To the beat, y'all. Boom, boom, boom. Now, see again, they messed it up too. Yeah, and the noose is the strongest. All right, whatever. It ain't a game, it's plain to see. You listen to the sounds of Breed and the DFC. So notice, again, you're not just listening to Breed. He ain't just on here tooting his own horn talking about how dope he is. So he ends this boy by saying, you listen to the sounds of Breed and the DFC, right? And if y'all remember how that song sounds, he actually, that and the DFC that's in the parens right there, that's the DFC that's really saying that. So he got these dudes to really come in the booth, right? And really get on his song. Ain't no future in your front. So there he goes again, right? So now he gets into something that was, you kind of saw a little bit of this, but not quite from this angle at this time. My man said, starts to get into drug dealing.
Business must be pretty good, huh?
Oh, it will be, brother. Beat this out.
Right? But he's not talking about it from the way that we're used to hearing about it right now, right? So my man says, I never got caught. And again, this is where the funky worm creeps in. And this is the part, it's actually what I consider another hook, a secondary hook, because this is one of the ways that people remember this song. I never got caught with a kilo, and if you ever do, yo, it never be with me, yo. See, that's to me is what I call another hook, because he was bringing it in. Now, he said, I never got caught, and if you ever do, it'll never be with me. You know what I'm saying? It's an interesting take, and he'll touch on this a little bit more later on, right? So he said, I never have to worry about my posse getting jumped. So if we ever do, yo, TB, pop the trunk. Now listen, one of the things you'll notice about this is why I say it's a very down-to-earth song. Because he didn't say, yo, I got 50 guns, we'll roll up on your block and mow everybody down, I got the chopper. Nah. He didn't say, you can't beat us in a fight. Nah. He said, I never have to worry about it, because then I have my boy pop the trunk, right? So he's realistically going through what'll happen if he's threatened or if somebody run up on him, right? And then he started to really explain it why. Like, he didn't just say it's because we the biggest, baddest people ever, we beat everybody down. Nah, right? He said, because we don't go for playing. When I play, grab a ball. And when I'm on the mic, I ain't for playing that at all. So I clock 10 G's a week booming at my peak. You always see E sober, but I do get geek. Listen, I'm gonna stop right there. You talking about Eric Breed, his first single in the rap game. My man came out and said, I clock 10 G's a week. Now granted, that's decent. That's real decent. But he could have said something else, right? And he said, that's when I'm booming at my peak. He talking about peaks and valleys in the real business game, right? Then he goes into something that's even more realistic and modest. My man said, you always see E sober, but I do get geek. But you will see me sober. You always see me sober. So he's talking about practically how he present himself. My man's gonna be sober, right? He said, I can give you a job and a place to eat hearty. Meet your homeboy Marty at a B.O.B. party. Now, I always figured he was saying a B.Y.O.B. party, right? But he chopped it off because it was, not enough beats, not enough counts in the beat to squeeze that syllable in, right? So again, he said, I can give you a job, right? I'm taking over, barking like a dog named Rover, picking suckers like a four-leaf clover, right? They biting lyrics on the mic because they some cobras. I don't know what they talking about on here. I diss these cobras. I think he said they biting lyrics on the mic because they some cobras. So now they saying Eric Breed is getting over. Again, the name, he keeps going back to his name. He said at the beginning, I'm the E double and I proclaim my name. And he wasn't lying. He proclaims his name. But keep in mind, he's not saying SNOOP or LL Cool. He's saying Eric Breed, bruh. Eric Breed, you talking about, there was no Kanye West back then. There was none of that. There was no people using their real name. You talking about 1991, the biggest rapper in the world is Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? People didn't even know his name was O'Shea. Most people didn't know his name was O'Shea Jackson for years. And here he is coming out on his first single. Say, my name is Eric Breed. Now, I think this is why it resonated with Pac. And Pac reached out to do the song, Gotta Get Mine. That's why him and Pac had such a classic combination, right? So let's get more into this, man. Again, going back to the name, I'm the B, the R to the double E, D N, right? Spitting his name again. But I'm down with my homie, GASNOEN. Yo, here we go. Suckers causing static because they still be disagreeing. I don't give a hunt. Now, he specifically said, I don't give a hunt. He pulled that cuss word out of there. I like that. I'm from FLINT. And again, my man spelled Flint like as though it was a popular city in hip hop, He spelled it like it was Compton or Brooklyn or something, or Queens. My man was just like, I'm from FLINT. And then he went into what it is to know about, what are the distinctions, what's the distinct characteristics of Flint, right? A city where pity runs low. And if you ever shoot through the city, then you know. And we are strictly business, but we also got a pride. And if you don't like it, I suggest you break wide. Love that. Love that. One of the first lyrics I quoted when I was writing rhymes back in the day, because to me, it reflected Cleveland as well. It sounded like where I live, where I came from, right? Now we're going to get back to something that was a running topic again, right? Running topic, drug dealing.
Business must be pretty good, huh? Oh, it will be, brother. Beat this out.
Because, you remember that this is the Boys in the Hood Minister Society days. Well, not ministers yet, but we talking about boys in this year, right? So a lot of cats was not only living the drug life, was beginning to really glorify the drug life in hip hop. And my man chose not to do that. He didn't choose to step on it. He didn't try to shame drug dealers, but he also showed a different role. And really, I think the reason why he showed a different role was because he was really just talking about who he was. He wasn't trying to make up no character or, be a superhero who's trying to get everybody to stop selling drugs, but he also wasn't trying to be Rick Ross either and paint himself as some kind of drug kingpin. He was just trying to beat Eric Breed and show who that is. And that's why I love this song, right? So again, we get back to this where he said, Sucker steady looking for that MONEY and thinking that illegal is the best, but slowly dying. I ain't got time to see a fiend out. Give up all his money and he giving what he got. That's the way I am. MC Bree cannot be different. I think we can underline that, right? He said sucker steady, so basically Cass is getting into the drug life, thinking illegal is the best, but they dying. But then he said, I ain't got time to see a fiend out. So he's showing like a little bit of heart for where he's, again, he ain't trying to be a superhero or a sympathetic figure. He's just trying to be honestly who he is, right? And he said that right here, he said that much. That's the way I am. MC Bree cannot be different. I never changed my ways for the world or the government. And then he started getting a little deep on us and some things that got quoted and was run down, where he said, if I was the president, then I would state facts. You leave it up to me, I paint the White House black and ain't no future in your friend. Now listen, man, I love this. I love this, again, because I just think you can't just plan to be that honest. You gotta just be a person who's honest like that. You know what I'm saying? I think that was just who he was. So let's get back into the next verse, man, because we're gonna, again, he's picking it up right again. He's talking on the same topic. Yeah, I got dollars in my pocket, not from rolling. And if I was a fiend, then my gold would be stolen. So again, he hitting back on the drug dealing thing, right? A lot of cats is bragging about drug dealing, but that's not my thing. I got some dollars. Again, he didn't say I was richer than you. I got more than you. I'm driving this and you ain't, like a lot of rappers do. He just said, I got some dollars in my pocket and it's not from rolling. And if I was a fiend, then my gold would be stolen, right? Then this is one of the things that I love, right? And it was one of the things that resonated with me as a teenager hearing this and resonated with a lot of people around me, right? My man started talking about the stuff that he was aspiring to get. He didn't brag about all the stuff he had, which a lot of rappers do. They come out now and you'll see them talk about things they don't even have yet, or things that are being rented for them just for the image. And they figure if I keep talking about it, eventually I'll have it, right? Bree didn't do that. Bree came from a realistic point. I mean, you can't get no more real than this. Next thing he said, he talking about his name again. I put my name Breed on everything I own. And when I get my Jeep, I'm putting Breed on the chrome. When I get my Jeep. My man, not only did he not brag about something he ain't got, he's speaking it into the universe. My man, he hitting on y'all manifestation stuff in 91. When I get my Jeep. Everybody I knew in 1991 was on the way out of the grocery store, would grab a Trading Times and flip that bad boy and see all the cars, the Saab Turbo, the Honda Civic Coupe, all of them, and circle them bad boys and hope to God that one day we could buy one. Hope. And when I put in this song at 15 years old and listened to it, and he said, when I get my Jeep, I was right there with him. Like, man, when I get my Jeep too. Me too. He ain't say I'm in the Maybach, laid back, spray that. He ain't say that. Yeah, that rhyme. I'm just a rapper, man. But listen, he said, and I want to continue on this because this is the best part of the song, in my opinion, man. He said, when I put my name Breed on everything I own, and when I get my Jeep, I'm putting Breed on the chrome. Shine it up good, kick it through the neighborhood. Motorola phone, fat rims and a Kenwood. Put the kit around it, and then I have it drop. Just because I'm riding, people think I'm selling rocks, but ain't no future in your front. My man talked about his whole plan. We had the same plan. Everybody I know. Man, I grew up in Cleveland Heights, East Cleveland, Harvard, all of it, man. And I guarantee you can expand that out to so many cities and states that when we heard, I'ma shine it up good and kick it through the neighborhood with a Motorola phone, fat rims, and a Kenwood. My brother had to face off. He had to snatch out first. Then he had to face off Kenwood. And on top of that, he took it a step further for all my car cats. I know all the cats down in Florida might be feeling this one. My man said, I'm gonna put the kit around it. And then I have it drop. Put the kit around it, boy. That ground effect kit. Everybody wanted a ground effect kit back in the day. You ain't want no space between the bottom of your car and the ground, man. So let's wrap this up, man. My man this is a lot of verses. You know, in 2021, record labels don't allow you to have this many verses in your songs because they feel like the rap audience does not have an attention span this long. So you're not allowed to have this many verses. There's no way this song would sound like that today. So listen, man, we're not even gonna keep going, man. But listen, there's a lot of lyrics in this song. I know a lot of people might hear that beat. Especially people who like the P-Funk, people who love hip-hop, people who like to dance, people who like to party, people who like to drop their cars, people who like to just bounce, people who like to sip a little something, people who just, man, listen, this song is for everybody. This song is for everybody. Shout out to Eric Breed. Rest in power, rest in peace, and rest in heaven to Eric Tyrone Breed, one of the best rappers, in my opinion, of that era, and one of the realest rappers that I ever heard. You know, passed away at age 37 in the year 2008. Every time I listen to Gotta Get Mine with him and Pac, I always think about how smooth he was and how even being on a song with Pac, he didn't come out of his pocket. He stayed in his pocket and he was just smooth and he stood his ground. He stood even, in my opinion, with one of the greatest rappers of all time. And he did that by, again, being exactly who he was, not trying to stretch the outer boundaries and be somebody else, but being confident, standing on his feet, and telling you exactly who he was. Eric Breed, Eric Tyrone Breed, right? Ain't no future in your frontin'. Listen, I want to go back to one of the lyrics up at the beginning, man. I want to highlight this right there. While they slipping back, my feet is planted in the pavement. If there's one line that sums up Breed, in my opinion, it's that. My man was really confident in who he was. He knew that was good enough and great enough, and he stood on it, and he explained to you why that was good enough, right? So all of my lyricists, all my artists, all my folks, just people living life, man. What you can take from this is, one, your name is good enough, man. Your name is good enough. You know, when I was growing up, man, I used to be like, Floyd, man, I don't really dig it. I don't really like it. That ain't no cool name, you know what I mean? That name didn't hit for me when I was younger, you know? So the thing you can take from a song like this is you come in and be like, F-L to the O-Y-D and down with my home, you know what I'm saying? Spit that bad boy, slang it around. My man even did that with the name of his city, which was a city most people had never even heard of in hip hop. And he still came in and was like F-L-I-N-T and just beat, he was sitting in the pocket, man. Oh, I love that. For confident, I don't care who you are, man. I don't care if you never rapped in your life. When you wake up in the morning, whatever your name is, feel that. Be in the pocket of that. Know that that's good enough. That's great enough. You know that, man. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Whatever your dreams are, whatever your aspirations are, rock that bad boy. Even if you ain't got it yet, know that. Don't compare yourself to nobody else. Just step out with your feet planted on the pavement and talk about what dreams you do have. You know what I'm saying? What aspirations you do have. Shine it up good. Kick it through the neighborhood. Motorola phone, fat rims, and a Kenwood. Put the kid around it. Then I have it drop. Just because I'm riding, brothers think I'm slinging rock, but ain't no future in your front. Man. Let's take the advice and the words of that great philosopher, Eric Tyrone Breed, man. Ain't no future. Hey, when people come up against you, when you hit a hard situation in life, or even when you look in the mirror, remind yourself, ain't no future in your friend. And be exactly who God made you to be. You know what I'm saying? Because it's good enough and it's great enough to stand with anybody. As long as you stay true to who you are. Gotta get mine. Gotta get yours. Gotta get mine. Get yours!